guys, what's up? Megan here with the Lawson Farm. So I'm getting ready to go out here. Can you see them? And pick me some greens for New Year's Day. So I know today is New Year's Eve and all, but I gotta work 12 hours tomorrow. I ain't got time to be doing all that cooking, so I'm gonna cook it today, stick it in the fridge, and just warm it up tomorrow night when I get home. Because we want all that good luck that comes with the New Year's Day meal, right? What I'm picking here, mainly these are turnip greens that I have here, but greens are usually the best after the frost has bit them. It kind of does away with that real sharp bitterness that greens have. So I'm going to go ahead and be picking some of these. And like I said, I'm just going to pick enough for myself. I'm the only one in the family that eats them. So I'll be making just a real small batch. But you know, greens are supposed to stand for money, so in the new coming year. So I mean, I want to keep my chances good for that, right? So why wouldn't I eat them? I try to tell my husband this, he doesn't listen to me. Won't try them for nothing. But yeah, we'll just pick the leaves off of them. We're gonna trim up some of these stems before we boil them, because the next step will be boiling. And believe it or not, you know, I could have this whole bag full and it still only be enough for like 2 or 3 people because they boil down so much. Alright, I've about got my bag full, as full as I need it to be. Like I said, I just need enough for me. But some of these big old thick stems, like this one, we're going to want to trim that off. We don't want that tough stuff in our turnip greens. Alright guys, let's head back in the house. Now what's next is, I've got my greens here, washed them in some cold water. And I'm going to go ahead and start cutting the stems off and show y'all that. And then I'm going to throw them in my pot. We're going to let them boil until they are tender. Well, I don't have many. It shouldn't take too long. I don't know exactly how long to tell you. Just boil them until they look like turnip greens. Like when you open up a can of turnip greens, boil them till they look like that. They're all wilted, and then after that, so while they're boiling, what we'll want to do is cook our fat back, because we want to have that fat back grease to throw these bad boys in after they're done boiling to give them that good fat back taste. So what makes them good is the fat in them. Alright guys, so these big old stems here, I'm just gonna, actually that one's real thick, I'm just gonna actually pick the leaves off of this one, because that is a really thick one. Throw that in there. And I was glad to see everybody, like all these people commented on my Facebook page telling me they do the New Year's meal too, which is awesome. It's something that I've always done, because good luck. I think it's a southern thing. I don't think people in other parts of the country do it. But it's just always been what you're supposed to do, so that's what we always try to do. It's supposed to make for a prosperous new year. That's why you eat this on New Year's Day. So the traditional meal is, of course, greens, black-eyed peas, which I'll be cooking that. I canned some out of my garden. Anybody that's been following me back since I was in the garden, you know, saw that process, and I'll be showing y'all that too, my black-eyed peas that I have. But it's turnip greens, black-eyed peas, pork, usually hog jaw or fatback, and cornbread. So I don't think I'm going to make my cornbread today. I think I'm going to mix up the mixture maybe in the morning before I go to work and tell my husband how long to cook that in the oven before I get home. I don't usually get home until around 8 o'clock, so cornbread usually takes a good 30 minutes or longer to cook. I may cook it today. I haven't decided yet, folks. Greens in the pot over here. It would help if I got the oven on to get them boiling. Do that. But I've just got them in plain water right now. We'll add our seasonings and stuff after they get boiled down a little more. So we'll just let them be, and then I'm gonna start cooking my fat back. So I'm gonna cut my oven on. Y'all know I use this black pan for everything. So this is some vacuum sealed hog jaw that I have. It's from last year. It's just fine. If y'all haven't watched my vacuum sealing video, watch it. If you don't have a vacuum sealer and you preserve a lot of stuff, get you one, because I've eaten stuff that's a couple years old that's been vacuum sealed and it has been just fine, tasted just like it did the day we put it in the freezer. So I highly recommend that. I've never tried anything but a food saver, but we have been very pleased with it. Alright. So of course, for those of you that don't know, the hog jaw is exactly what it sounds like it is. It's the jaw right here. We salt cure it for a very short time, about a month or two. Well, actually more like a month, not a month or two. And it's cured. So, see how pretty that is? And it is absolutely delicious. And like I said, I'm just going to put all this in the refrigerator tonight to have tomorrow. What kind of pork, let me know what kind of pork y'all eat for New Year's Day. I don't think it really matters, like if it's hog jaw or fat bag. That's just usually what we do. So what kind of pork do y'all enjoy on New Year's Day? If you even do this. Alright, I'm going to put a few pieces in there. Let those get to cooking. Got my heat on about medium-high. Let my pan get good and hot, and then these cast irons hold so much heat. After it does get hot, just go ahead and cut your heat back down. If not, it'll burn it in a hurry. Alright, so got my fat back cooking. These are boiling. They're getting there. Show you what they look like. See there? They're darkening up a little bit. Not anywhere close to being ready. I'm going to give my hog jaw a little flip here. If that's the rest of the way done. I like mine good and brown on both sides. Good and crunchy. Make that fat good and crunchy. Boy, it is good. And of course, this is not just a meal that you have to eat on New Year's. This is my kind of food anyway. I would like to eat any day of the week. And so while I'm waiting on my turnip greens to get done, I'm pouring the grease into a bowl, as you can see there. And we'll just need a little of that to put in. I'll put my greens from here after I drain them. I will drain them and put them into my pot. But I'll show you all that when I get ready. At that point in time, cooling off a little bit. I have to cut it up some. Put this over here on a paper towel to cool and to drain some of that grease off of it. Now, believe it or not, when I first started cooking, for some reason, fat back, hog jaw, and bacon were like hard for me to grasp when that was done. I either got it too done or not done enough. So the best thing I can tell you, if you're new to doing it, is when the fat, so it'll turn clear when it gets hot. Then as it cooks, that fat gets white. Like you can see it bubbling up inside of it. It starts getting real white. So that's when it's about done. So that means it should be good and crunchy once it cools. Because, you know, just like bacon, until it cools, you don't know how crunchy or hard it is, because it's still going to be flimsy whether it's done or not, unless you burn it to a crisp, of course. But we're not going to do all that. So yeah, that's what I have noticed. That's my advice. Like, there's no set time limit how long to cook it or anything like that. But when that fat goes from clear to white and it's like bubbling up inside, that's the way I like mine, is when it gets like that. So I'm going to take this grease and just pour it into my bowl here, just to have when I'm ready for my greens. I think I will cook my cornbread today. Maybe. We'll see. So of course, next thing on the list is my black-eyed peas. Alright, so I decided I was going to make my cornbread. Sorry about this light right here, guys. The sun is like shining right in my window. But anyways, so when I do my cornbread, I make usually half of what the recipe calls for. Just use the recipe that's on the cornmeal bag, because I use my little pan, because I'm the only one that eats cornbread too. So we're just going to make a little half a pan of cornbread. So the way I do it, I like to take, I use my lard, of course, and the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of lard. So I'm going to put half of that in my pan, and I'm going to put half of that in my cornmeal mixture here, which I've got in this bowl that y'all can't see. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here to be melting. I want that good and hot when I get ready to put this cornmeal in there. Alright, so I'm going to take my little piece of milk here. Now, I don't put no sugar in my cornbread. What team are y'all on? You on team sugar or team no sugar? I mean, I eat it either way. It don't matter. When I make mine, I prefer to do it without sugar. Cracking my egg and my milk. I'm going to mix that up. And actually, I decided I'm not going to do my black-eyed peas till tomorrow, because they're already canned. I'll show them to you when we get done here. All I got to do is warm them up, so I'm just going to wait till tomorrow to do those. I'm going to pour this in here. Then I need a little bit of water. Put this water in here. Let's see, can y'all see that? No, you can't. Yeah, I'll eat cornbread either way. I mean, I don't dislike it with sugar in it. I just prefer it like this, I guess you would say. And then I'm going to show you our greens. They're about finished too. Y'all getting to see a whole meal tonight, so I'm sorry if this video is a little bit long. And actually, it's a little runnier than it normally is, because the regular recipe calls for 1 egg. But I can't exactly make a half an egg, so it just gets the whole egg too. Alright. So I'm going to actually give my shortening a little more time to melt. Go ahead and cut this heat on. Let me show y'all my greens here. So they are ready. They are good and tender, dark in color, very, very wilted. And I'm just going to do them like this, and I'm going to lay them in my fat back grease. Now, people do this different ways. Some people go ahead and cook them with the fat back when they're boiling. That's fine. It's just the way I was always taught to do it. So it's the way I do it. And I know it's not many, But like I said at the beginning, I'm the only one that eats them. So no use cooking more than what's going to be used. Let me see if I can move y'all down a little bit more. There you go. Now you can see. This light right here is driving me insane, guys. On this camera. I'm going to put a touch more little grease in there. We don't want to make them too greasy. We just want a little bit. There we go. You're going to hear them hopefully start frying in a little bit. Check to see if my okay. Alright, so let's check to see if this is melted. It is.
Mama, can I help you what you're doing?
And it's not. Hang on.
But can I help you what you're doing?
Hold on. Alright. So my grease is good and melted in there. You can see it shining. Cornbread mixture in there.
Milked it?
Alright, put that back in the oven. And it's going to cook for about 25 minutes. I'll keep a close eye on it though because I don't want it to get too done. Alright, so last part of this video for New Year's Day meal is your black-eyed peas. So we plant crowder peas in our garden. I'm going to show y'all here. That's what these look like that I canned back in the summer. I canned them with a piece of fatback up in the top. Man, good. Because when they get in that pressure canner and you've got that fatback on the top, it like forces that fatback flavor into the black-eyed peas. So I love to do them that way. So tomorrow all I'll have to do is pop the can open and put them in my pot. I usually add a little bit more water to them, let them boil for a little bit to warm them up, and enjoy. That's all I got to do. So I will do that tomorrow. You can hear these frying now. Alright, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of y'all. I have them up to 25 subscribers, which is super exciting. Thank y'all for the support. This is something I've always dreamed of, is teaching people about what I like to do, which is this right here. I love to cook, I love to can, love to be in the garden, love to be outside. Anything but housework. I don't like housework. But if you haven't already, remember just subscribe to my channel, see more content like this, and like this video so YouTube knows that this is the kind of stuff you like to watch. So anyways, I hope everybody has an awesome 2020. Remember to indulge in your pork and your greens and your black-eyed peas and cornbread tomorrow. So you'll have a prosperous year. Y'all have a good one.